Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another episode of... No, that's not how we do this.
That's not how we do that.
I'm Isaac, and I'm an elite gamer.
And I'm Claire, and I accidentally expanded my bookstore.
And this is Make That Game,
where we pitch the latest,
the greatest,
new video game ideas.
that won't ever get made.
Nope.
Also, I'm not an elite gamer. I just
You are
couldn't
an
think
elite.
of anything.
No, you're an elite
I'm
gamer.
not an elite gamer. My achievement score is so low. I've never platinumed a single game.
I don't even know what that means. So you're more elite than me.
Well, more elite doesn't mean elite.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we do here? We pitch video game ideas.
Back and forth, like
back
volleyball.
And forth. Like volleyball? Do they pitch back and forth in volleyball?
Well, they lob it back and
Is
forth.
pitch a volleyball term?
I guess, but you don't pitch a baseball back and forth. You pitch it one time.
No. Nobody pitches anything back and forth.
No.
That's the thing. I don't think we do that. I think we pitch at each other.
Well, but you pitch to me and then I pitch to you.
Yeah.
So that's like back and forth.
Back and forth like implies repetition, right? We're getting down in the weeds. All right. What we've been doing this year is we've been doing themes.
Yeah.
Last episode, I made the mistake of saying a theme at the end, thus locking us into it.
Well, we want to say the theme on the episode, though, so you
know,
get
to lock
excited
us
as a
into it,
listener
yeah.
to listen to the next one.
This week's theme is Dinosaur. So, Claire, why don't you tell me,
Okay.
as your potential investor, give me the elevator pitch of your dinosaur game.
So I really struggled with this theme for some reason, and I do want to take you a little bit on my journey because I think it's funny. So at first I wanted to do something with eggs, but then I was like, if you listen to other episodes of the pod, you know I don't really like breeding games.
Claire gets the ick.
I get the ick from that. So I was like, well, that like leans too close to that. Then I'm like, what if it's more of like a quest game and you're trying to like save a dragon egg or get a dragon egg? And I'm like, that's just Dragon Prince, the game. Also Game of Thrones. So I was like, I don't know.
Okay.
That's too. And then I was like, what if we reversed it? What if it's dragons trying to save a human baby? And then I'm like,
Whoa.
that's Ice Age.
Well,
That's Ice
no,
Age.
you're right. You are correct.
So I gave up on all that, and the game I ended up coming up with it's a silly game for Silly Game Block.
Oh, okay.
It's called Dragon Simulator. And it is.
Wait, Dragon Simulator?
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. Not Dragon. Dinosaur Simulator.
Oh, okay. I got real scared that you were going off theme
sorry,
for
it was
a second.
Dinosaur. I said Dragon a lot of the time.
Okay.
It was Dinosaur. Sorry. I was thinking about Dragon eggs but dinosaur eggs are like kind of the same thing in a sense.
Yeah.
No, it was always dinosaurs. Dinosaur Simulator. But it's just a flight simulator skin. And you're a pterodactyl, and and you use the stick and everything, and
I cannot imagine coordinating like an organic creature with airplane
That's
controls.
Why it's funny and it's in the silly
very
block.
funny, actually.
And also, I know a pterodactyl's not technically a dinosaur, but dinosaurs will be in the game as like
yeah.
So,
is a Quetzalcoatlus is that an actual dinosaur?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
I just remember the big deal about pterodactyls because all children love pterodactyls, and then it was like they're not even a dinosaur, and you're like, oh, okay.
Are they mammals? What are they?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the definition of a dinosaur. I probably should have looked that up before.
I think a dinosaur is technically just any saurian. Okay, Quetzalcoatluses are pterosaurs.
Which are dinosaurs or no?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay, I'm also going to look up what is a dinosaur.
Thank you. But anyway, so that's really it. I mean, you're going to like swoop around. You're going to get prey. You're going to avoid predators.
Land reptiles that lived during the Mesozoic area.
So I think that's why, because it flies. It's an air reptile.
Okay.
Dinosaur experts, write us at makethatgamepodcast@gmail.com and tell us. But anyway, that's really it. Like it is, yes, using airplane controls to manage your pterodactyl and, just go on journeys, eat prey, avoid predators, fly around, nap.
What is napping? What button on the flight control stick do you press to nap?
Refuel.
Oh, okay. All right. There.
So yeah, Yeah, that's my game. What
Microsoft
about you?
Dinosaur Simulator. Okay, my game idea uses a different definition of dinosaur. You know how we refer to old things, like generally machinery, as dinosaurs?
My brain was also trying to play with this. Yeah. I didn't get anywhere, but yeah, okay, continue.
Yeah, the idea is that this is a far futuristic kind of planet that is not Earth. So far future, unique geology / terrain, so we're not beholden to Earth biomes. We can have more interesting stuff. The cat is attacking plastic, folks. The cat is attacking plastic. There's your weekly Lewis update.
Lewis update. Yeah, we need it. So he is here. He is being a little menace.
So this is a turn-based, mech-based combat game. Probably with some RPG elements, I think. Like for the pilots, and pilots could like pilot different mechs.
I have a
Basically,
question.
I'm telling you, I'm building BattleTech.
What's an RPG element?
An RPG element is usually like the ability to level up, or in general, like gain experience or some kind of resource to buy either stats or skills. Okay. So most progression systems in like character-based progression systems would be considered like an RPG element.
Okay.
And not all of them, because like just going through different levels is also a progression system, but like a meta progression system, I guess. Like Mario going from level 1 through level 3 in a stage. Not RPG element. Mario hitting a Goomba, getting a coin that he then buys the ability to jump 4% higher. RPG element.
Okay. Isaac pointed very excitedly when he said that. For all of the... I was going to say for all the audio listeners, but we're not filming this.
Yeah, no, so I hope not, because I am basically in pajamas right now. I did not get dressed today. Actually, literally in pajamas. I just remembered that these are pajama pants, not real pants. So, okay. You battle... You have your pilots, you have your ancient... So the idea is that these mechs can't be built anymore. No one has the ability to build new mechs. Yeah. That is lost technology. And so in order... You buy from other people, or you collect them yourselves by going on archaeological sites. You conquer archaeological sites and have staff that actually do the like digging up of ancient technology that you equip your mechs with, or you can find entire mechs on their own.
I like this because it also feels a little bit of a like I know Dinosaur is like the old technology, but it also is a little bit part of like the excavation process.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna hit you with the third banger here. All of the robots are also dinosaur themed anyways.
Yes. Yes. Okay, great.
So
this game seems really fun.
For those of you who are familiar with it, imagine like Zoids, like specifically the dinosaur Zoids, with like tyrannosaurs made of heaps of metal with bazookas and stuff on them. So that's the general idea. You take mission. So the general gameplay loop is you take a mission, you do a combat sortie, so like you have like a deployment process, then you take turns activating different mechs of yours to defeat the enemy with attacks and skills, etc. At the end of the combat, you can salvage enemy mechs that you have destroyed, you gain some amount of money for completing the mission, and then you can go to like a management screen where then you can allocate money to buy new equipment from the marketplace, to level up your pilots, and you can rejigger your equipment. That's the only word that I know for this. So it's like, oh, in this mission, I think machine guns will be better than lasers. And then in the next mission, you look at the combat, the mission details, and you go, I'm going to want lasers instead of machine guns. So you do all that in between, and then you accept a new mission. And I imagine that there's going to be like multiple missions at the same time. So side missions and primary missions that you can do to progress a storyline until you eventually beat the game. But the major focus is going to be like the combat elements. And I briefly touched on it, but there is the metagame system of missions can get you archaeological sites that you can then manage, like in an offhand kind of way. Like you wouldn't directly be digging anything up, but like you would be assigning staff, potentially protecting it from other people trying to get it. So like certain missions will be like, fight these pirates off of this archaeological site, and then like the people who are already working there will be like, oh, we'll give you like whatever we find because you helped us.
You can basically get turf.
Yes, you get turf, and then that allows you to get more resources in a different way than just getting like using your money to buy them. So that is my game. I didn't come up with a name for it because we only do that for the rapid fire round.
I like it though.
Yeah.
I really like that game. Also, I looked up some other words. Rejigger is a fine word. It's a regular word. But like it's in the dictionary and everything.
Yeah. Yes, it was in the dictionary. Do you think I made it up?
It just sounds like a silly word, and I also feel sometimes it's the only one that comes to mind for what that means.
Yeah.
So we got modify, alter, transform, redesign, I like. Revamp, adjust. Yeah.
Revamp or adjust. Those are the closest. And also
engineer, like re-engineer. Like you can engineer. No, okay.
Yeah, that doesn't quite hit the right
But I think revamp is a good.
Yeah, revamp. Yeah. Revamp your gear between missions.
Yeah, and but again, rejigger works fine. You used it the correct way.
Yes,
but
as I often do with words.
That's true. You are a linguini. Okay. Anyway, next what we do is
we talk about game design elements.
Yeah. Or we honk and bonk
like
games.
we just try to just talk about game design in general. I know we just did that with the pitch. We talked a lot about like the design of specific games and gave reasoning and stuff for it. But we take it a step further away. We get a little more abstract with it, and usually it comes in the form of Claire asking me a question, but not always. Claire, do you have a question for me?
Yeah. So today I wanted to ask. So if you listen to our last episode 124. We talked about Isaac's game that he's been developing, and there's one element of that game I want to talk about today.
Okay.
And so.
Oh yeah, there was something that you were like, "This is not the topic."
Yeah.
Well,
I was like,
about.
"This is like a whole
Stop
discussion."
Talking. Okay.
Which is so Isaac's designed his game so that there's always a way to avoid a fight, basically.
Except for boss battles.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask like your motivations behind that game design element and like how it impacts gameplay and how and like the design process.
All right. So this is one that I'm very torn on myself. So I think I'm going to bring this open to debate for the listeners because I have tossed this back and forth so many times. The initial idea was basically that a pillar of RPGs, at least in my mind, is exploration. How do you encourage exploration? Well, you put trinkets and treasure chests around the map, give them new things to find, and also secrets. Yeah. You basically put secrets in, but also like that is kind of a limiting or constrained design, whereas people are just so used to looking for secrets that they're just going to find them anyways, this comes into the first contradiction in my idea. Okay. I think instead of just putting random treasure chests all over the place, what if I make it so that you can avoid fighting? Yay. It's the same thing. It's got the same overall problem of people are just so used to it that they are going to be looking for it from the get-go, and at that point, they're basically not going to get into any fights because they are going to be looking for the secret chests and find the routes around normal enemies. The second idea going on is I wanted to limit growth. This conversation does require a lot of context that is available in the previous episode, so I would suggest going back and listening to it because I don't want to talk about like all the RNG, the lack of RNG elements. But one thing that I talked about was specifically like,
which is the randomized stuff. That's what RNG means.
That's what RNG means. But one of the things that I talked about was like, in order to design these like puzzle style fights, I needed to like have an idea of the minimum capabilities of a player at any given point. And so to make that good, to make that feel good from a player perspective, the thing that I decided to do was to only give growth at specific points, like at the mandatory boss battles, effectively.
So you can't get XP if you battle a minor?
Right. Okay. So I made minor enemies worth, like, you only gain, like, potions and resources. You don't gain experience to level up. And that's because I didn't want to make it so that if you avoided... I needed every fight to be, like, if you avoided every other battle and got to this boss battle, you were able to defeat it. But if you did do every fight, you would gain... If you gained experience and, like, leveled up, and you were at a way higher power level than intended, like, if there's 10 fights, the person who did 0 fights and the person who did 10 fights are going to be wildly different power level, then that boss fight's, like, trivial for them. So if you're doing every fight, it's harder to make it competitive, if you will. And so I was like, okay, so fights don't give any resources, and since they don't give it, or they don't give you, like, this meta resource, and since they don't give you this meta resource, let's make it so that they aren't mandatory, or like you can dodge them, because then why am I fighting? I'm not gaining anything from this. The thing that you're gaining is, in most cases, it's shorter and easier to see how to progress through an area by doing the fight, because it's most of the time there's a goblin on the map. Let me walk up to him, smack him, and then walk past him. As opposed to, let me find the hidden tile that lets me go into the forest that is not drawn to be a path. Yeah. That is fine. I don't think that there's any inherent contradictions with that. Right? So that's fine. Was the first thing that I said, I just thought it would be interesting to just not... Just to be able to avoid fights? Okay.
That was the thing you just said was the first thing you said.
Oh,
That's faster.
Yeah, okay.
That was number one.
I just thought it would be interesting to be able to, like, dodge 99% of the fights in the game.
Yeah.
That's another thing. No, that's another internal contradiction that comes along that makes it very hard for me to think about this and decide if it's a good idea or not.
Well, okay. Do you want my opinion on it as a playtester?
Sure. Yeah.
Couple things. Well, one, I'm also torn in this regard, but I feel like I wouldn't be looking for the ways to avoid a battle if you hadn't told me that they're always there. Like, if I did it once, I wouldn't necessarily think about it as avoiding it. Be like, oh, look, cool, a secret path. Like, I might even think I still have to defeat the boss. Like, you have to pay a lot of attention to everything that you're getting and doing to get the pattern, which maybe is on purpose. Like, maybe it's like a secret surprise. But I do think there could be, like, more clarity in that. And I like that and I like it in a sense. Like, I don't like battles in a game a lot of the time. But I also feel like you kind of have to go all or nothing. Like, having these battles not give you XP, but boss battles do. And you can't avoid boss battles, which does make, like, story sense, but it also is kind of like... I feel like that runs into the Chicory problem. Chicory is a game that I played in Hong Kong.
Where you're not used to the battle mechanics.
Yeah,
and then you're forced into them.
And then you're forced to do a boss, it feels confusing and difficult. Like, so Chicory is a game where most of it, like almost all of it is just puzzle solving. Like, you don't really fight anything. It's all just, like, really interesting puzzles and, like, map exploration. But then at the end of each level, you do have to do a boss battle, and you haven't fought anything. And so the boss battle just feels like you're just, like, button smashing, basically, because you have it's really hard to grasp the like fight mechanic in, like, 2 minutes.
Yeah. So, and didn't every battle have a different mechanic?
Every battle was a little bit different. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. So even when you thought you got the hang of it last time, then the other time will surprise you. So that's one thing where, especially where the first time I played your game, I don't think I'd ever played a turn-based RPG before. I'm pretty sure that was my first one.
Oh, wow.
So I was really struggling.
What a crazy one to get thrown into.
So I was really struggling with that mechanic, like the fight mechanic in general. Like, I was just like, it was my first day and I had to learn. And so if I had somehow magically avoided all the other fights and hit the boss, I would be crying.
Yeah, that's fair.
So there is that. So it's like, I feel like if you're going to go for this thing, you kind of have to go all out and just make it really hard to find the secrets for the bosses. And then someone can do, like, a speed run that's like no fight.
Yeah, that is okay. So the speedrun idea is also, like, one of the other reasons why I decided to do it this way, is going back to like the exploration element, like a very specific like sub niche of the exploration is some monsters that you can optionally fight, guard bonus items, or are themselves actually secret boss fights that will level you up. And so from like a pure optimization, like speedrunner perspective, I thought picking exactly like the ability to explore the game and like pick exactly which monsters are worth fighting and which ones aren't, to like get the perfect item path to achieve the game like as quickly as possible, I thought would be very interesting. So like, just as an example, like there's this one monster that if you fight it, you can get a bandana item, which like at the level that you get it pretty massively increases your attack power.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a difficult encounter,
mm-hmm.
but it is achievable. And so if you get it, you are now massively stronger, which compensates for the fact that you have most likely or definitely lost HP or mana during the fight.
Yeah.
So like you do the fight, you lose resources, but you gain the bandana item, which is actually an incredibly powerful item in the context of where you are at in the game. I don't know if that's actually worth it when this game is theoretically completed and unleashed in the world and gets a player base. That's for the speedrunners to decide, like, bandana fight worth, yes or no. And I like the idea that I specifically wanted was to read a post on the internet sometime where it's like, yeah, you can get the bandana, but if you get the bandana like 3 hours in the run later, you are exactly 1 HP under where you need to be to survive this attack by this boss because of the extra resources that you consume doing the fight to get the bandana. So even though it does make, the next 3.5 hours only take you 3 hours, it actually soft locks you unless you take an hour excursion to get an extra potion or whatever. And that's like where I want to see it. So the biggest problem with this every combat is avoidable is this is the RNG, this is the random number generator-less RPG. This is the RPG with no random elements in combat where you basically don't have to fight. Like, I'm designing so much of this around a combat system that I'm then saying, oh, by the way, ignore it 99% of the time.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest contradiction in the idea. And what makes it like, what am I doing? Am I doing a smart thing or am I doing a dumb thing?
You know what it sounds like? And maybe this is bad to say because it would change your game a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe these are two different games. Like maybe
that's one thing that I've thought.
Yeah, maybe your no RNG game and your no battle game are two different games.
Yeah, like we've been watching the newest Olympian streams. So Mike Schubert
let me just go real quick into the backs. Can I do the
Oh,
backstory?
sure. Yeah.
The newest Olympian's another podcast. Go check it out. Completely different from this one. I think it is in our Spotify recommended though, because I'm like, great
nice.
podcast.
Good.
But the host of that podcast, Mike Schubert, has started to stream as a Patreon like benefit. He streams sometimes, like it depends what it is, but he's been doing video games lately, and right now he's doing a video game, the DS version of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. So the newest Olympian is a Percy Jackson podcast. So that's what Isaac will now reference.
Yeah, so this Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief game is effectively battle cutscene, battle cutscene, battle cutscene. It's like it is an onslaught of battles. It has removed the exploration element.
Oh yeah.
From the RPG system entirely. It is pure combat game, and it's like I agree.
We will be discussing it at some point because I have things to say.
The idea of the structure of that game feels so much more the RNG list battle system feels so much more at home in the structure of that game than it does in the structure of this is like a tile-based top-down RPG where you're running around and exploring. But to add the randomness back into this game would be, ooh boy.
Well, so I think you should keep this as the no RNG game.
Mm-hmm.
And then a new game would be the battleless game. Like a completely different idea.
Okay.
That's what I think. I think for this game, I think the battles are good, and I think you should have them, and I think it should be that this game that you're designing now should be the one if you're going to pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could still make a couple battles unavoidable, but it doesn't have to be like a major or avoidable, sorry. It doesn't have to be a major mechanic in the game, and you don't have to make every single one that way.
Yeah. It would probably be a pretty significant overhaul just at this point to like undo some of the escape paths. Oh, another thing. Most of the battles you can actually just run away from and it restarts you at the like beginning of that map. And so if you do accidentally, there are a couple areas where like if you walk on a certain tile, a monster will ambush you and it will force a fight. But then you just run away from it and it puts you back at the beginning of the map. And now you go, oh, I won't walk on that tile this time. I won't walk near that bush that the spider jumps out of. There's a lot of restarts in this game that I specifically put in so that people could do this kind of thing. But it also goes back to just defeating the complete purpose of, hey, I made a battle system. You should look at the battle system. By the way, nothing forces you to look at the battle system except for certain bosses.
I think, and I'm not a developer yet, but I think that it would be a little bit easier to take out the secret paths, and you don't have to take them all out. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I think that the no RNG part of the battle system is the cool part of this game, and that you feel more passionate about that part when you talk about it than the other part. And I think I like your idea of the battleless game. I think it's a different game. Mm-hmm. This has been game coaching.
Yeah. I think that's all to talk about for now. Let's do some RNG.
Yeah, we're gonna do some random. RWG.
Yeah, you're
random word generation, because it's time for the rapid fire round. This is where we generate 3 random words. We come up with a game idea based on those 3 words, including a name and a gameplay loop. That's what that's called. And we only have 5 minutes to do that. Let me pull up the random word generator. If anyone wonders, it's randomwordgenerator.com. That's what we use for this.
Oh no, they're going to know all of our secrets.
Well, it's a random word generator, so they can't know any of the secrets. What if
randomwordgenerator.org now comes for us?
Why?
I don't know. What if they have it copywritten and we've been illegally making content?
That's not how any of this works.
Their back. I should make
you've been using Apple Timer. They're not gonna.
You're right. We've been profiting off of Apple.
We use Adobe to edit it. Like, I think it's a.
There's a license for that. There's an explicit license for that. Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's fine, and I'm ready with the first.
All right, I'm gonna start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Snap.
Crackle.
Absent.
Pop.
Hold.
Okay, snap, absent, hold.
Hold. HOLD, hold.
Okay, absent, hold, snap.
Snap. Cold snap.
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 Cold snap is interesting. I was thinking snap, snappy, fast paced.
Okay. Both are appropriate.
Kind of like an active time battle system where you get to attack every time your bar fills, but the enemy's bar is also filling, so you don't have a lot of time to think about it because the enemy will constantly be attacking you and making the bars fill super fast, so it's a really snappy combat system. That's where I went, but Cold Snap was a good one, I think.
Okay, you want to stick with that?
Yeah. Do you
No. So snap, hold. I already forgot the other one.
Absent.
Okay. Hold is where I'm like.
Okay. If we
lose an absent, we can definitely work with almost anything.
Okay. Oh, okay. How about this? Speaking of contradictory game ideas, snappy battle system, but holding your action, which is the opposite of what you're supposed to do, gives you some kind of boost. So, like, let's say your bar fills up, but then, like, it fills up again, and then it fills up again, and, like, each time it fills up, you gain more power for when you do act. So you're sacrificing the enemy is doing all kinds of attacks to you.
So what part of it
but
is
you're,
snappy?
like, charging up. Like, The combat system in general is snappy, but you also have the ability.
Tell me what that means. The combat system is snappy. What does that mean?
It's fast paced.
And what does that mean? What does that look like in an RPG?
Well, exactly what I was saying. Like the bars, so active time battle systems, when a bar fills up, you get to act, but the enemy also has a bar that's like filling up. So this would just be that, but the bars would just naturally fill up very fast, and like your characters would like instantly do things. I know what that
looks like because of the stream of the Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
So technically, that's still turn-based.
So this isn't turn-based? I don't know I don't know. I don't understand. I thought I got it. I apparently don't got it.
Think about it like this. Imagine if in Legend of Zelda, in order to swing your sword, every time you swung your sword, like a little bar above your head went to 0, and you wouldn't be able to swing your sword again until your bar went up to the maximum. Okay? Mm-hmm. Are you envisioning that? That is closer to what an active time battle system is.
Okay. It kind of feels like it's turn-based a little bit.
It's more cooldown based.
Okay.
We're getting into the weeds on this.
Okay.
I think after this I need to show you what I'm talking about, because I'm
we don't have time to get in the weeds. Sure.
We have 2 minutes.
Absent. Your cutting class.
Oh. You're a kid playing hooky from school and having adventures.
Yeah, and then you have to battle I don't know, like a Ferris Bueller type thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Like you have to battle like the truant officer and
okay, so you want this to be like a grounded in reality RPG rather than like I left the classroom and took the wrong turn, and instead of going to the bathroom, I went to Narnia.
Yeah, I think it's funnier. And then also I think it's because I'm stuck on the Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief DS game, because I'm like, and then it's just like battle after battle. Like you steal ice cream and you have to battle the ice cream parlor, and you go to the beach and you have to battle the lifeguard.
Okay, so this is a Percy Jackson and a Lightning Thief.
Well, no, but it's not a turn-based RPG.
But fully real-time, like active time battle.
Right. And you're okay.
And it's called
Truant Warrior.
Truant Warrior? Yes. Okay. 42 seconds left on the clock.
All right. Well, now we're going to do it again.
Yeah. And I'm going to start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Here we go. Deter.
Okay.
Kick.
Okay.
Sugar. There's always one word in the 3 that's like, ooh, what do we do with that?
Deter, sugar, kick.
Could it be a learn 'em up about nutrition? And you have to kick the unhealthy food out of the way.
Okay. We have the same basic idea, because what I was thinking of was I was imagining a picnic blanket with just a pile of sugar on it, and you had to kick like ants and stuff away from it.
Okay.
But it sounds like the same core concept.
Yeah.
Where you are in an area with a target to defend, and you defeat enemies by kicking them out of the area that you're in.
Well, and I think the way I envision it is, you know how there's games where like some things are like, okay, the sandwich stacker, the SpongeBob stacker, Krabby Patty stacker, famous game. No. Well, ingredients like fall from the sky and you have to catch them. I think there's also a Stitch sandwich stacker is one.
Nope.
Okay.
This game that you're describing, though, I did used to play when it was a Mario game on the Game Boy, if I'm thinking it
there's
correctly.
Lots of different, but yeah, there was a Stitch branded one. I think there's a SpongeBob branded one, but either way. So you're like moving around catching stuff. And I don't want catching because we're kicking, but there's like bombs that also fall and you're supposed to like avoid that.
Okay.
So that way I'm thinking about it is like you've got like healthy food and like less healthy food. And you want to like kick away the like...
Oh, well, letting the good stuff go through.
So that way you're learning.
Okay.
And I think you can like, maybe before each level they show like the nutrition facts of each food so you can like get a sense for what's
something
going on.
like that. But I also,
I'm trying to put the learning in, like how to read a label.
Yes. Okay, that's good. I do think that you should be allowed to have a certain amount of the terrible food, because I don't want to teach avoid all pizza forever.
Oh, exactly. So yeah, so there could be like a bar on the side that's like you can let some slide.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's fine.
And, oh, no, here's this. It's a bar, but it's got a sweet spot, right?
Ooh, okay,
so it's you are allowed to have up to this much, but don't go over that much.
What if you can set it to like different modes? Like it could be like just like regular mode or like bodybuilder mode or like
ooh, and then it can teach you about macros. Oh man. Okay. Yes, we have an idea. Learn them up, kids.
Because it's not just nutrition, which is why I like this game, because it goes deeper than like what normal school nutrition. Like school is like sugar bad,
right?
Like vegetable good.
We
and
want to teach you, yes, eat pizza, but don't eat all. Well,
and also
pizza.
like what are the other things that are at play? Like how active are you? What are you? What are your goals? Are you trying to get buff?
Learn them up, kids. Mealtime.
Learn them up, kids. Kick them to the gym. Learn them up, kids. Kicking nutrition. Learn them up, kids. Macro.
Shoot, I'm trying to think of like different food. I can only think of like nutrition. That's the only word that's coming to mind.
Learn them up, kids.
Balanced.
Bagels. How much time do we have to make this name?
We have a minute and 15 seconds to just repeat the phrase, learn them up, kids, colon.
I kind of like kicking nutrition, so I'm putting that,
Learn them up, kids, colon something.
No.
Happy colon.
We're not. Is that a mode in this? Is a happy colon high fiber diet a mode? Yeah, it could be. I don't know if I want to make that all of it though. Learn them up, kids. Dinner time. Eating time.
Epic meal time. Learn them up, kids.
Epic meal time. Yeah. No, that's it.
Is Epic Mealtime still cool, or did they do something problematic?
What's Epic?
That's a YouTube channel.
Oh, I just thought it was a cool name. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then I don't want to name it after a YouTube
channel.
Oh,
okay. All right.
There's also there's a highly likely chance if they've been around for a long time that they've
YouTubers and problematic behavior go hand in hand. All right. Let's go with nutrition kickers. I have reasons for not liking it, but we have 5 seconds left.
That wasn't mine. Was kicking nutrition, but if you want to
okay.
Nutrition kickers, which one is it?
Oh, I thought I stopped it.
I guess it's nutrition kickers.
Yeah. Oh, well, I meant whatever you had said.
Oh, okay. So kicking nutrition.
Yeah.
I think it has a ring to it.
It has a ring to it, but here, let me tell you. Let me tell everyone why I have a problem with that. That implies to me that nutrition is the enemy that we are kicking.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the label of that game at the game store. I'm like, why are we kicking nutrition?
Here's how I see it. I see it as a double meaning. So like you're kicking because it shows the mechanic of the game, but also kicking like cool. Like this nutrition is kicking.
Okay, all right. I didn't realize we were making this game in 1990. Actually, I did because it's a learn 'em up, kids.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, it works.
Okay, I'm starting the final timer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Interference, physical, yearn.
Yearn?
Yearn. Which is also often a crossword puzzle answer.
Do you understand that this is literally the same exact game? Your body yearns for nutrition.
Okay, but we're not
run interference of the bad things.
So it could be the same game, but we're not going to make it that. We're going to make a different game.
But it's the same game.
This is make that game.
Because it's the same game, I literally cannot think of anything else.
I was thinking it could be more about like...
You're taking the lead on this one because I got nothing. Oh, wait. Oh. Hold on, though. We've got something. Breeding games give you the ick.
Yeah.
So you are playing you.
Okay.
And as all of these adorable mascot creatures attempt to make eggs, you have to physically block them from being able to do that. You say no breeding in my monster.
I think that's also creepy. That's also really creepy.
What? Okay, fine, all right.
But I thought
let's start from scratch.
Okay, reset.
No, well, I'm not resetting the timer. Now we've only got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Okay.
So
I mean, yeah, I'm thinking of it like a Jane Austen game.
Okay.
Oh, actually, that does work because physical was really taboo.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So maybe it's like you're trying to like stave off physical advancements from suitors, include like, and by physical I mean like holding hands. So like like very like mild physical, but still maintain relationship with them so you can get a proposal.
Okay, I'm imagining multiple mini games, and like depending on the situation, I'm imagining one mini game where you control the hand specifically, and it's got like the different connection joints to the arm, but you are controlling the hand and you're dodging another hand, so it's like a ragdoll kind of thing, where you just are moving. We're both moving our hands wildly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it like just like it's got like the bones animation system, but you're only controlling the hand to dodge another hand. I always
like a silly game.
So that's like one of the different interactions.
But yeah, I think like maybe like drastic could be like splashing a drink on them, like, but you have to pick it up with your like noodle arm, like pick up the drink.
Oh,
and be like,
okay.
Flop.
Another thing I was thinking of is they like go to kiss you or something, and the gameplay is like the Punch-Out game for the Nintendo, where it's dodging left and right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think like because it's so wonky controls, if you like accidentally like smack them in the face while you're trying to like avoid the handshake,
that's
then,
a faux pas.
Yeah, so it's like because you still want to maintain. There's like a relationship bar too, because you want to be able to be proposed to by the end of the game, but you can't touch anybody.
Right.
And that's okay. So we're gonna call it
Jane Austen's physical interference.
Jane Austen's Punch-Out.
Oh man. Oh, that's good. That's good, but I don't think we can. No. We don't have time for this. I have a diversion question, but okay. All right.
Save it for after the timer.
But can we call it like Jane Austen something, or would we have to call it like
Jane Austen's super dead, so.
But is there like a Jane Austen estate?
I mean, probably, but she wrote the book so long ago. I think we can use her name.
I feel like there's something with Pride and Prejudice.
Okay. Pride
and extreme prejudice.
Punch-Out and Prejudice.
But you're not actually punching anyone.
I just like the word Punch-Out. I'm sorry. Okay.
What was that, Regency era?
I don't know.
Is that what that was called?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think so. What about like I'm trying to think of like Pride and Personal Space Cube. Pride and Personal Space.
Pride and Personal Space. Pride and Personal Space.
Pride and Personal Space.
And I like that because like Personal Space and Prejudice kind of flow off the tongue the same way. Yeah. So like you get it. You
they're
get
close
what's going
in
on.
Syllables. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Perfect.
Did you want to address your tangent?
Oh, so okay. The Punch-Out game. It's like technically called Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Oh,
right?
Okay. So that's why it's funny that it's Jane Austen's Punch-Out.
Yes.
Okay.
But I was wondering when they presumably like trademarked that.
So Mike Tyson's alive. So they paid him to do that.
No, I know, but like okay, I want to make Isaac's Punch-Out. Do you think and it's like a boxing game, just like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Do you think they have like a legal case of like, no, we have Mike Tyson's Punch-Out trademarked, even though it's specifically Mike Tyson's?
Yes, because here's the thing. So the way that so titling is actually very difficult to copyright or trademark.
Okay.
Because like there could be a book, a movie, a TV show, a game, all with the same name. And that's usually fine.
Yeah.
But where the trademark holds is if it's a similar or same product. Because what the trademark office and like lawsuits are concerned with is loss of income based on confusion. So if you had a punching game called Isaac's Punch-Out and Nintendo had a game called Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and they're almost identical in gameplay, then you would lose that lawsuit.
Okay, so there is additional
But if you made a movie called Isaac's Punch-Out,
that would be
sure,
fine.
Right.
Okay. So even though the
Nintendo
trademark,
being a big company, might still sue you so that they could still have the movie rights if they wanted to make
money.
But like in theory, it would be better.
Okay, so trademark doesn't just apply to like literally the term itself.
Well, it depends in the context, but in the context of a name specifically, like the name of a game, book, TV show, YouTube video, whatever it is, like the actual title of it, those are different kinds of like copyright trademark things.
Okay. Here's a supplementary question here. Mike Tyson's
also
Punch
not
Out.
A lawyer. Just to be clear,
fair.
This is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I just read a lot about copyright law. Anyway.
Yes. Mike Tyson's Punch Out versus Punch Out, right?
Again,
is that the same? Is that the same thing, or is
kind of? So I mean, again, it really depends on how similar the products are and how litigious the.
What about Isaac's Punch Out? It's Isaac's, and then in very small font under it,
the font
Punch
doesn't
Out.
matter. I'm gonna say that right now.
Okay.
So it really depends on how litigious the Nintendo would be and how similar the products are. Those are like the two things you would have to worry about. So just. Because that's the frustrating thing about copyright law is that like it's always a case-by-case basis. Like there's almost no...
See, that shouldn't be allowed. They should have one rule that applies to everything.
But also with
equal.
all lawsuits,
I'm joking, by the way.
Someone has to sue to make it even a problem.
Yeah.
Right, so there's that
Nintendo,
too.
sue me.
Don't. They would. I think Nintendo is fairly litigious.
No, but I don't have a game for them to sue me based.
They'd want to.
Yeah,
I think
they're raring. They're ready to go.
I think they'd want to if you did that.
Make Isaac's Punch Out,
don't do that.
They already have the paperwork ready.
They're ready.
They just need to sign it and file it.
Yeah, they just like fill in the like address. They're like, we have it for every game. We're ready to go. We just fill in the name and address of the person who messed up. That's all. We just print it off.
All right, that's enough of a diversion.
Let's
close this out. I'm thirsty.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for listening. You can find us makethatgame.com. It's the best website. You can sign up for our newsletter there. You can also email us, makethatgamepodcast@gmail.com. And if you heard a game today that you really want to make, as long as it doesn't share the same exact title and gameplay as a Nintendo game, we encourage you to get out there and make that game.